the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Tony Nwoye, says the election was marred by irregularities. Speaking through his running mate, Dozie Ikedife Jr., he says the party will decide on the next line of action.
The security agents collaborated with APGA. Our state chairman, Barrister Mekibe, was detained at some point, and that's very sad. And a lot of our party supporters were detained. Our party functionaries were detained. And many of our agents did not get to the polling units or to the polling centers till maybe about 10 a.m. And before they got there, a lot of the ballot boxes were already stuffed by APGA agents. But however, Dr. Tony Nwoye says he's taking everything in good spirit and that he's leaving everybody to be judged by their conscience. However, the party leadership say that they're examining the whole process. They'll sit down, look at everything that happened, and then at that point make their determinations.
And Ikedife also accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of manipulating the figures in favor of the ruling All Progressives Grand Alliance.
The results that the INEC released, it's way beyond the voting, the number of people that came out to vote in some polling centers. But be that as it may, Dr. Nwoye says he has accepted everything that happened, and we just wait on the leadership of the party to come up with their own position. However, if the APGA-led government had allowed the will of the people to count as far as the election is concerned, we will be having, Tony Nwoye will have been announced as the winner of the election. But because of the kind of person he is, he says he's accepting what has happened. And he also knows that it's God that anoints the people's leader. He offered himself to serve, and as it is right now, as it stands right now, Governor Obiano has been returned as the winner of the election. And we're accepting it just the way it is. And we wait for the leadership of the party in the state and national to come up with their own position.
Well, let's get some more analysis on the just concluded Anambra State governorship election. We bring in now social commentator Ikenna Asomba to analyze the poll for us. Thank you very much, Ikenna, for joining us this hour.
Good to be here there.
We've seen Governor Obiano, of course, now re-elected. We've seen him towing a magnanimous path now, whereby he said the victory he got is not essentially his or APGA's, but is Indigo's or India Anambra, and has called on even his opponents, to come and join in the rebuilding process. Also saying that the election was a victory for the common man in Anambra State. How reconciliatory is this path now that he's chosen to take? We know how fierce the race was.
Well, thank you very much. You see, as a journalist, I followed these Anambra elections to the extent that I even went to Anambra State to gauge the feelings of the people. You see, when I went to Anambra State during the course of the electoral campaign, what the gauge I got from the people was that they needed a man who would come to consolidate on what he has been doing, okay? So if Governor Obiano, after being re-elected by the people of Anambra State, has called on other political party candidates to join hands with him to take Anambra State to a greater height, I think it's a welcome development.
All right, we just heard Tony Nwoye's spokesman, so to speak now, saying, and we also have it on good record, that he has even gone on to congratulate Governor Obiano, but he's mindful, and he stated certain worries now, voting irregularities, excess voting, card readers, and some other irregularities, saying it is now left to the party, that's APC, to decide whether to go to court. Let me have your take now on that. How do you relate with this?
Well, he has, the governorship candidate himself, Tony Nwoye, has said, even though he congratulated the governor-elect, he has also said he leaves everything into the hands of God. So if the deputy governorship candidate, Ikenna, is saying the party is looking at the whole processes, well, it all depends on them. For me, I believe the people of Anambra State have spoken, and the verdict they've given to the governor, I think it stands to hold sway.
Were they induced now to have their will now established? Because more and more people, even the PPA gubernatorial candidate talking about Osita Chidoka has also said that it was all a cash and carry business. He simply wasn't, wealthy enough to let the people vote for him. According to him, it was a matter of ABGA having more money. And that view has also been seconded in some other quarters.
Well, the truth of the matter is this election was fraught with maybe buying and selling of votes, that notwithstanding. But all parties that got involved in this election, they also should also have their own blames. That is not to say the other candidates from other parties didn't also induce voters. We all saw it. Even there were several photographs circulating in the air before the elections where one chieftain of a political party was caught inducing voters during campaign and all that. So even an independent body that partnered Premium Times, an NGO that partnered Premium Times, came up with a preliminary report that, one, there was buying and selling of votes. Two, there was securitization of the election. And I think these were the few things that fraught these elections. But by and large, the people have spoken. I think the mandate should be sacrosanct.
And on the part of INEC now, by and large, if I could borrow that phrase from you now, they are said to have, given a good showing of themselves now. But then there were instances of card readers not working, people overvoting once again, if I could just add that. By and large, how would you, describe their performance?
Well, by and large, this election was free and fair. At least in other elections, you see reported incidences of snatching of ballot papers, ballot boxes, and all that. But I think INEC improved during this election, and I suggest that INEC should also work more on forthcoming elections, particularly the 2019 elections, so that the voices of Nigerians and their votes would count at the end of the day.
And let's not even forget that there's also another state, that will have its election, Ekiti State now, that will be having. Yeah. So all this now will be platforms ahead of 2019.
Of course.
Ikenna Asomba, thank you very much for your analysis.
Thank you very much. Nice being here.
Thank you.